Okay, good evening, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. If you can, let me know in the chat. Sorry about that. That was a mistake on my part. Set up the wrong stream and sent you therefore the wrong link. So apologies. That one's on me. Point deducted already on my behalf. Now we've got quite a lengthy quiz this evening. 56, well, it's not that lengthy, it's the same number of questions, same number of rounds, just 56 points on offer. That's including the picture round which was sent, and we Tom thought he'd mix it up a little bit this week, so hopefully you enjoyed the sort of brain teasers that he sent on, just a little bit different. Got you thinking for the hour. I appreciate there's some football, some American football on as well, so I'll try and keep it quick for the green turf lovers. And if green turf isn't your thing, if ice is your thing, which it has been very much this week, hasn't it? I think dancing on ice or something started up again. Not really my cup of tea, but it might be some others. Obviously. It's been a bit of an interesting week with all the rain around. Trainers have been finding it very hard to get their horses out on the gallops, let alone being able to get them to a racecourse and get them competing. If it's not been abandoned due to waterlogging, it's been abandoned due to frost, hasn't it? That's just started coming back in again. But that's the joys of winter racing and the perils of national hunt, isn't it? But I think next weekend we should have certainly one or two exciting entries, hopefully. Anyway, we've got 5 and 20, our unbeaten juvenile filly entered in at Doncaster in a juvenile fillies race. It seems a logical option for her, doesn't it? In a listed race there, she's 2 from 2 over hurdles. I think she's 5 wins from 12 starts now. So she's a very useful filly indeed, and she's in there. If we don't go there, we might look at going to Musselburgh with her, but ground would be the key. With regards to her, given that I slightly messed up on the sending out the link or setting it up all wrong, just give everybody a couple of minutes to access the new link. Now, this isn't a solely curated by myself quiz this week. It'll be the first time we've had input from other people and other members of the team coming up with one or two other questions, one or two other rounds as well. So might just get a slightly varied mix on it. But probably does mean that's going to be a good thing, that I might not be able to go off on tangents as much and just lose my own train of thought in the process. Obviously, as ever, it's a pub quiz. So let us know what you're drinking. I'm on a Corona, and I've got something else for a little bit later on in the quiz. I don't want to start that too early because we might not see the end of it. We've seen some of the questions I've been getting wrong as time goes on, even when I'm drinking beer or cider. So I'll keep the good stuff for a little bit later, but I'll let you know. Let us know what you've got. Good to see lots of people, a lot of familiar names. I was about to say faces. I always say faces, don't I? But it's good to see some familiar names here. Who have we got? We've got the Austins, Team Austin back. Dave, hi. You might have a bit of a clue on some of the questions there, Dave. Joe Exotic, good to see you. Tim Pakin. Peter Allison, hello. How are you? Darryl Curtis, Rachel Watson, Dean Short, Dave Kingsbury, Antonio Lord, Nicholas Stevens, hi all. Russell Dix, Chris Little, hello all. Obviously, if you're not engaging in the chat, hello to you as well. We'll try and keep up to date on there as well. If you're not, if you can't, if you want to engage in there and you don't know how yet, I have the Smith clan, hello. If you don't know how, just set up a YouTube account or a Google account and you should be able to engage in the chat there. Just a bit of banter. As I say, we'll just give it another minute or so before we crack on. I'll open the next one. Now, the rounds this week, I'll quickly run through those once I've done the more important thing. Lots of wine tonight. Lots of white wine. Zinfandel, white. Finished for white already. Jeez, okay. Could be in for some fun there. Right, as I say, it's out of 56 points, including the picture round. Quite a few multiple answer questions this week. We've got an entertainment round. That'll be first up. Then we have a general knowledge round / history. I don't think there was enough of one category to solely call it one element or the other. It's kind of like a gel, if you like. It's neither a liquid nor a solid. There's a bit of history in there and a bit of general knowledge. Probably just slightly more on the history. There's a sport round and the old favourite blockbuster to close out proceedings. Well reminded, Sarah. What we're going to do is, after each question's been read eloquently on here, we will post in the chat the question for those who didn't quite catch it, or if you've missed it. All the questions will be repeated in the chat there. After each round, we'll go through and mark each round and give you the answers. And then we'll have a little tally up at the end with regards to how many points you've scored. I think what we probably should do, given I've already taken up 10 minutes or 11 minutes instead of kicking on, what we'll do is we might as well get going. So, eyes down. Round one, entertainment. Question number 1. What year was Channel 4 launched? What year was Channel 4 launched? Now, I must admit, I've got a sport on in the background. I'll not try and flick over to it too many times. And I won't give away any spoilers for those who might be watching a little bit on catch up. Question 1. What year was Channel 4 launched? Question number 2. Which female actress has won the most Oscars of all time? Which female actress has won the most Oscars of all time? Obviously, there's been many good actors and actresses who haven't won Oscars and have thoroughly deserved them along the time. But who has won, or which female actress has won the most Oscars of all time? Question number 3. What animal does Indiana Jones hate? Which animal does Indiana Jones hate? I think it's hate the most, really. He probably hates quite a few, but which one does he hate? You'll probably have noticed that the Corona cut is coming back out again. Hopefully we can get this lockdown over and ended soonish, sharpish. Vaccination's really kicking on, isn't it? Fingers crossed we can get this lockdown behind us, and hopefully it was the last. The last thing you guys need to do is stare at my face on a Sunday evening before bed. Question number 4. What is the name of a cafe in Friends? What is the name of a cafe in Friends, or the coffee house in Friends? Kind of does divide people's opinions, Friends. It's very Marmite, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I don't think there's too many people who, it's all right, I like it. You're either a massive fan of it and you watched it, or you don't really see the appeal of it. Me, I was a big fan. Question 5. The Tra-La-La song, One Banana, Two Banana, was a theme to which 1960s children's TV show? The Tra-La-La song, One Banana, Two Banana, was a theme to which 1960s children's TV show? You can probably guess that I didn't write this particular question, given I probably should have listened to the song more recently. I do recall the TV show. My dad's a big fan. So I do recall it. I think we've even had it on YouTube on more than one occasion. After one or two glasses of wine have been sunk and singing along to it on an evening. That's wonderful insight into a Palin household. What TV show was that the theme to? Question number 6. What is the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz? What is the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz? Good film. Good film. What was it? Heart, a Brain, Courage. I think there were 3. Which is actually probably 3 things I need. Some good tunes in there as well. Some good tunes. And actually, a very good tune from the Dog's Name band. That'll make sense if you know the answer. If it doesn't, you think I'm just stranger than I am. Question number 7. Keep out of the black and in the red, nothing at this game for 2 in a bed was a catchphrase from which TV show of the 80s and 90s? Keep out of the black and in the red, nothing at this game for 2 in a bed was a catchphrase from which TV show of the 80s and 90s? Brilliant, brilliant TV show. I don't want to say too much on that because I might give it away. The Metams, yes, is a great TV show. Question number 8. Where would you? It's a 2-point question, point for each. Where would you hear of AC12, and what does the AC stand for? Point for each. Where would you hear of AC12, and what does the AC stand for? AC12, and what does the AC stand for? Now, this is a show I've only flirted with. Mum and Dad are big fans of it. Apparently, Sarah, who set these few questions, is as well then. AC12, and what does the AC stand for? Point for each. So that's your first 2-pointer of the eve. Question number 9. Many of our horses have been named after characters in the BAFTA award-winning cult comedy series Toast of London. What is the name of the actor who plays Stephen Toast? What is the name of the actor who plays Stephen Toast? If you're into Absolute Radio, he does a lot of the voiceovers on there. And he does insurance as well. Many of our horses have been named after characters in the BAFTA award-winning cult comedy series Toast of London. What is the name of the actor who played Stephen Toast? I can hear Mike rubbing his hands with glee at this question. Question number 10. Question number 10, the final one of this round. No Time to Die is a forthcoming Bond film with Daniel Craig back in the lead role. i.e. James Bond. How many previous appearances has he made as James Bond? No Time to Die is a forthcoming Bond film with Daniel Craig as James Bond. How many previous appearances has he made as James Bond? I think that was actually pushed back again. Well, the new date was announced, wasn't it? This week. Is it October? It's going to be released. So a year and a half after it was originally supposed to. I think that was it. Is it October or something? I mean, the trailer was out blooming late February, wasn't it? Late February last year. It seems an eternity ago now, really, doesn't it? No Time to Die is a forthcoming Bond film. But how many other times has Daniel Craig been James Bond? That's just one answer. Okay, that's the end of the entertainment round. And make it out of 11. So we should have all got our answers down by now. So we'll just crack on straight away with the answers. Question 1. What year was Channel 4 launched? That was 1982. It was launched on the 2nd of November, 1982. Question number 2. Which female actress has won the most Oscars of all time? Katharine Hepburn. She's won 4. Most Oscars won by a female actress, Katharine Hepburn, with 4. What animal does Indiana Jones hate? He hates snakes. I'm sure he hates other animals as well, and bad guys, but it's snakes. What is the name of a cafe in Friends? At Central Perk. Obviously, a very clever play on words from Central Park. Question 5. The Tra-La-La song, One Banana, Two Banana, was a theme to which 1960s children's TV show? That's for Banana Splits. I think I do. I might be getting it confused with a Hair Bear Bunch, actually, in my head. Yeah, I think I am in the imagery in my head, but the answer we're looking for there was Banana Splits. What is the name of Dorothy's dog in The Wizard of Oz? Toto. I think probably started the craze of putting the dog in a handbag, actually, because I seem to recall it was in a wicker basket, wasn't he? Carried around at one point by Dorothy. Question 7. Keep out of the black and in the red, nothing in this game for 2 in a bed was a catchphrase from which TV show of the 80s and 90s? That was Bullseye, uttered by Jim Bowen, obviously. Bullseye. Can't beat a bit of bully. Question 8, your 2-pointer. Where would you hear of AC-12 and what does AC stand for? Point for each. It's the fictional anti-corruption. That's 1 point. And it's from Line of Duty. So you'd have heard of AC-12 from Line of Duty, and the AC stands for anti-corruption. Question number 9. What is the name of the actor who played Stephen Toast? Matt Berry. He's also the co-creator of it. Matt Berry, as we say, he's just done about every voiceover you can think of. But Matt Berry is the co-creator of Toast of London. And finally, question 10. No Time to Die is a forthcoming Bond film, but how many times has Daniel Craig played James Bond prior to this? It's 4. Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre. Or Spectre. I think probably... I was going to try and rank them. Skyfall's really good. Spectre's pretty good. In fact, they're all good. Grittiness. But I do miss the gadgets. Anyway, that was out of 11. How many did you get? If you could let us know in the chat, please, if you've got that. If you've got that option. The Dice Clan are here. Good to see you with a good 8. Good starting point of an 8. Entertainment's it can be a bit pop culture, isn't it? If you know your entertainment, you'll probably do quite well. If you don't, it's probably quite a middling round. I'd probably say let's go with 7. If you got 7, that's probably a very good score. Pete Allison with 10. It was Smith Clan with a 7. Left in the stall, 6 out of 11. Darryl Curtis, 8. That's the beauty of this quiz, though, Nicola. There's going to be a little bit for everybody there. If entertainment's not your thing, hopefully the one of the other rounds are. Exotic Clan, 9s. Well done, Dave, with 5. Good stuff, good stuff. Right. As I say, I'm conscious I've slightly messed up at the start of it, so we'll crack on. On to your second round, which is your general knowledge. Sorry, I just looked down there and one of the dogs has absolutely collapsed, shattered bursa. Anyway, general knowledge and history. So it's a bit of both. This is actually curated mainly by my father. It's unnervingly quite war heavy. Not sure if I should read into that or not, but anyway, we'll crack on. Question number 1. In what decade did the Cold War end? In what decade did the Cold War end? Good 7 from Ben. His wife, not me, Peter Allison. Very, very good. Well done, Mrs. Allison. 9 out of 11. Good stuff, Antonia. In what decade did the Cold War end? Question number 2. Where did Napoleon suffer his final defeat? Where did Napoleon suffer his final defeat? There is a fair bit of whirring coming from the laptop. Do let me know if that gets irritating. I'll try and aerate it a little bit more, but well, that's probably not the most irritating thing that you're going through in this hour and a bit, is it? Let's be honest, it's me. Where did Napoleon suffer his final defeat was question 2. Question number 3. In what year did Princess Margaret die? In what year did Princess Margaret die? Obviously, she's the Queen's younger sister. In what year did Princess Margaret die? If you don't know, take a guess, as they say. Now, question 4 took a little bit of research on the pronunciation of this, so apologies for when I murder this. What do we call the thing the French call la manche? What do we call the thing that the French called la manche? Or la manche, sorry. 4, apologies. La manche. What do we call the thing that the French call la manche? That's probably one of them you know or you don't questions, isn't it? I'm not even sure I can give a clue, really. It's probably one of them you know or you don't. Question number 5. How many years did the 100-year war last? How many years did the 100-year war last? You can tell we've got serious quizzes in. The last 5 questions have just gone bish, bash, bosh in the chat. Absolutely no interaction. We've got serious quizzes in tonight. How many years did the 100-year war last? Question number 6. What is the name of a telescope placed into orbit in the 1980s? What is the name of a telescope placed into orbit in the 1980s? There's always some. All quizzing is serious. Absolutely. There's always some form of space question involved, which does mean there's always some form of other question involved later on. I do think I've not done the brand question actually for the first time ever, which is annoying. Never mind. I'll make up for it next week. Question number 7. In which country was Christopher Columbus born? In which country was Christopher Columbus born? Now, there's no wooden spoons here. Everybody's a winner. Christopher Columbus sailed the Atlantic Ocean 4 times and opened up the colonization of the Americas. That's a little note I made on him. Because I did Google how many times he sailed the Atlantic, and it was 4. In which country was Christopher Columbus born? Question number 8. Now, I must admit, I slightly cheered this question up a little bit from the original one that my dad posted me or sent to us. Question 8. What was the name given to the secret project led by the United States that ultimately developed the A-bomb? What was the name given to the secret project of a project led mainly by the United States that was ultimately the development of the A-bomb? Question number 9. In what year was the Battle of Marston Moor fought? I'll give you 3 options. In what year was the Battle of Marston Moor fought? A, 1584, B, 1644, or C, 1704? A, 1584, B, 1644, or C, 1704? Now, Marston Moor, the Battle of Marston Moor, that was just down the road from where my mum was brought up. Down Bloody Lane, would you believe? And I did actually get in trouble at school once for saying Bloody Lane. And then my mum fought my corner and said Bloody Lane is actually a legitimate place. Told her for swearing. Unlike the time I threw snow and slush at my friends, which got me. Well, it wasn't detention; it was golden time taken off, but basically detention might as well have been. What year was the Battle of Marston Moor fought? Finally, question number 10. What was the name of Middleham Park's first ever winner? What was the name of Middleham Park's first ever winner? Suddenly just lost all the non-racing folk. What was the name of Middleham Park's first ever winner? Okay, so that round is just your 10 questions. And it's also out of 10, so I'll just give you 1 moment. There we are. So it was, as you can see, it was a little bit history, a little bit of general knowledge, a bit of both. It was a nice hybrid. As I say, it was a bit like gel. Question number 1, the answers, obviously. In what decade did the Cold War end? Well, it ended in 1991, so the 1990s. Started in 1947. Ended in the 90s, 1991. Number 2. Where did Napoleon suffer his final defeat? Well, if you're a fan of ABBA, you'll be having a bit of an advantage here. It's the Battle of Waterloo. That was his final defeat. Question number. You're all singing ABBA now in your head, aren't you? Question number 3. In what year did Princess Margaret die? 2002. She died 9th of February 2002. Question number 4. What do we call the thing the French call La Manche, which translates to the gap? And that's the English Channel. I apologise to any French speakers for butchering that. How many years did the, as I've now put a tab in there, how many years did the 100-year war last? 116. 1337 to 1453. So the 100-year war lasted 116. Go figure. What is the name of a telescope placed into orbit in the 1980s? That's the Hubble telescope. 7. In which country was Christopher Columbus, who sailed the Atlantic 4 times, born? He was born in Italy in 1451. So to get across the Atlantic 4 times is fair effort. And it does kind of make you realise just how young America and the Americas are compared to the and a bit more east of that. West. What was the name given to the secret project by the United States that was ultimately the development of the A-bomb? That's the Manhattan Project. Question number 9. In what year was the Battle of Marston Moor fought? I gave you 3 options. Well done if you got it right. It was B, 1644, the 2nd of July, 1644, during the First English Civil War. And finally, question 10. What was the name of Middleham Park's first ever winner? China Castle. We might have had that question before. So if you've been here from the start, well done. You've probably, and we're paying attention more importantly, well done, you've probably got that one right. So it's China Castle. It's still one of my dad's email addresses to this very date. So that was out of 10. How did you get on in that round? It's probably quite a tricky round. It was, if you didn't know your history, your battles, it's always a thing that gets you on the chase, isn't it? The kings, queens, literature, battles, those kind of things. It was a very, very tough round, that, if that wasn't your forte, if you're not into that kind of thing. I'd probably say 5 is going to be a very good score. If you got 5, well done. Look, I'll tell you how tricky it is. Even the Austins, they've not got full marks. And we did chuck a Middleham Park question in there just to really keep everybody on their toes. As I say, I think 5 is going to be a really good score that round. And it seems everybody's kind of getting that sort of numbers, 6, 4s, 5s. Yeah, well done. If you got anything on that, seriously, well done. 6s, 7s. There's a 7 there. Alan Gibson, well done. And yeah, how many have you got out of V21 so far as well? Fair point. The next round is the sports round. Good effort, Dave, remembering China Castle. How many? Let me know if you got China Castle right. That'd be quite interesting, actually. If you got China Castle, let us know. Just be interested to see if you did get China. Who got China Castle? If anybody, let us know in the chat if you did. As I say, it was a lot more entertaining television on this evening. Not that this is television. There's a lot more the Smith clan, Sam Carson, Jamie Brownlow, Jeff Dykes. Oh, it's annoying, isn't it? Yeah, I did ask that question. That's probably really early on. That's maybe 10 months ago now, wasn't it? When we maybe first started these. It was just as bad then. Anyway, right, we'll crack on with the sports round, which was kindly curated in its vast majority anyway by Dave Borton, who annoyingly a lot of people won't have seen. Given that we're not being able to get as many people racing as we would have liked, but hopefully all that can change in the very near future. Anyway, question 1. This is one I did slightly intervene with because we did miss out one of these, and I know how much these are very well received by everybody who plays. Ben Stokes played one of the best innings of all time at Headingley in 2019. The last wicket partnership, which Sarah's probably hopefully corrected because I've made a horrible spelling mistake there. Last wicket partnership of 76 secured victory for England. But how many of those runs did Jack Leach score? Ben Stokes played one of the best innings of all time at Headingley in 2019. The last wicket partnership was worth 76. That secured victory for England. But how many of those runs did Jack Leach score? I mean, 76 is good, but it's not quite 84 that me and Billy Wright hold the Lincolnshire Division 3 record for. No, sorry, about whole Lincolnshire record for the last wicket partnership. But, you know, Ben Stokes and Jack Leach, I'm sure, are very envious of Division 2 cricket in Lincolnshire. But there we are. There we are, James Austin. Very good. So how many runs did Jack Leach score in that 76? Question number 2. Now, I must admit these questions was sent through a couple of weeks ago, just in case we ever did do another quiz. So it's a little bit from that time, but hopefully we can also remember. Name the 2 players. It's a 2-pointer this, actually. Sorry. Name the 2 players who took part in the 2021 Darts World Championship final. A point for each. Name the 2 players who took part in the 2021 Darts World Championship final. With 2 players to take part in the 2021 Darts World Championship final. Point for each. Actually, I've not told you how many this is out of. This is a big round. This is out of 15. 10 questions out of 15. Throwing points away this evening. We've got them. You won them. Let's get these points given away. Question number 3. Which footballer moved from Barcelona to Real Madrid in the summer of 2000 for a then world record fee? Which footballer moved from Barcelona to Real Madrid in the summer of 2000 for a then world record fee? A little interesting factoid on that. This transfer, which in the summer of 2000 from Barcelona to Real Madrid, who was he, is now only 45th on the transfer list. 45th highest. So there's been 44 greater transfers than this. Who was the player? Another football question now. Whose last game as England manager was a 0-0 draw away to Portugal in 1974? Whose last game as England manager was a 0-0 draw away to Portugal in 1974? I like that. It's a good question. Question number 5. Golf stroke racing. Name the European #1 tour golfer of the year for the 4th time and racing. Name the European golfer who's recently done that for the 4th time and racing fan and owner of fan favourite York Hill. Name the golfer who's been European #1 golfer 4 times and big racing fan, and who is the current owner of York Hill? I think there's also something quite unique about his caddy. Question number 6. Now, big points on offer, so think carefully. This is the one we want to be paying attention to. This is the one that we all need. The 2020 sports personality saw Holly Doyle finish third. However, can you name me the other 5 nominees? Point for each. Full name. Holly Doyle finished third in last year's or this year's sports personality. Name me the other 5, please. Point for each. That's a rotter. There's always going to be one there you can't quite. You know who it is. Who's the other? Who's the fifth? Who's the fifth? And I've got a good idea who it is because it's the one I couldn't get when I had the question sent originally. I'll let you know which one it is at the time. So I'll just give you a little bit for that one. No Googling, obviously. We're all here for a bit of fun. While you think about that, I might pour myself a little glass of the wild turkey. Something that we've developed since Christmas time, really. A bit of a bourbon fan now. I wasn't. I gave it one more go, and finally, it's settling well. It's nice. You like a bourbon, wild turkey. Highly recommend that one. The 101 though is something I established is 101 proof. So we won't need too many of them. It's nice. Cheers. Okay, so your 5 nominees for Sports Personality of the Year. Might be one you just want to work on, but we'll kick on because I'm aware people want to do other more interesting things. Speaking of Holly Doyle rode a 5-timer one day last season, but at which southern racecourse did this happen? I'll give you some options. Holly Doyle rode a 5-timer one day at a southern racecourse, but at which racecourse did this happen? Was it A, Kempton, B, Windsor, or C, Lingfield? Kempton, Windsor, Lingfield. At which racecourse did she ride a 5-timer? If you don't know, take a guess. You've got 1 in 3 chance. Question number 8. What colour is the centre of an archery target? What colour is the centre of an archery target? I don't think I've ever done archery, actually. The most I've done is like BB shooting at on like your Butlins holidays, and I think it was Pontins we went. On a Pontins holiday, I think the best I did was a BB gun shooting, and there was archery, and I've never done archery. Has anybody done archery here? Is anybody any good at it? If you are, you probably know this answer. During the Olympics when it was over here. Question number 9. Recent addition to Middleham Park training ranks, Clive Cox won last year's Coventry Stakes at Royal Ascot with Nando Parado. But at what price did he win? I'll give you 3 options. What price did he win? 50 to 1, A, B, 100 to 1, or C, 150 to 1. Recent addition to Middleham Park training ranks Clive Cox won last year's commentary stakes at Royal Ascot with Nando Parado. What price did he win at? A, 50s, B, 100s, or C, 150 to 1? Now, Russell, I don't know if that's just a really poor joke or or you're a bit ropey at it. And question number 10. Question number 10. Who of the three Manning brothers are both champions in which sport? Two of the three Manning brothers are both champions in which sport? Or actually, that should read, two of the three Manning brothers are champions in which sport? There's no need for the word both, was there? So that rounds out of 15. Russell's confirmed it was the latter, not a joke. But it works on both. Works on both fronts, doesn't it? It's a good thing about jokes and wordplay and humour. Okay, so that was a pretty tricky sports round. We'll get back to the top. Question 1, your cricket question, which everybody loves. Ben Stokes played one of the best innings of all time at Headingley in 2019. It was one of those innings, wasn't it, where you just know where you were when you watched it. We might have spoken about this before, actually, on these quizzes. We were at the sales. We were at the Donny Yearling sales, Golf UK, when this was going on. Couldn't believe we managed to do it, but we did, where the final wicket put on a stand of 76. Ben Stokes scored there were 75 runs scored outside of Jack Leach's 1. So Jack Leach scored 1 run. So 1 was the answer. The most important one that you could argue in England's history. Question number 2. Actually, let me know if anybody could name a more important one in England's history from a batsman. Be interested to know. Question 2. Name the 2 players who took part in the 2021 Darts World Championship final, a point for each. So 1 point for Gerwyn Price and 1 point for Gary Anderson. Gerwyn Price won 7-3. A point for each, 2 on offer. Question number 3. Which footballer moved from Barcelona to Real Madrid in the summer of 2000 for a then world record transfer fee? Well, for 37 million pounds, Luis Figo moved. 37 million, Louis Figo moved from Barcelona to Real Madrid. As I say, that's the 45th richest transfer now. Now, Dunk Smith, I don't know if we've spoken about Headingley 81. I can kind of hear my mum crying now. I've probably spoken about that before. But she had tickets to go and see him see both of them at Headingley on that, was it the 4th day, where he defeated the Aussies single-handedly. And my granddad decided to not take mum. And we missed out on one of them, up there with Ben Stokes's greatest innings for England ever days. So, yeah, tough. So, Luis Figo was the answer to number 3. Number 4, whose last game as England manager was a 0-0 draw with Portugal in 74, and that was Sir Alf Ramsey. Obviously, Sir Alf guided England to World Cup victory. Bush has just rocked up now as well. Question number 5. Name the the 4-time European #1 golfer who's a racing fan and also owner of fan favourite York Hill. That is, of course, Lee Westwood. And the Unique thing about his caddy is it's his. I was going to say wife. Is it fiance? Fiance stroke wife. It's fiance stroke wife. Yeah, absolutely. Bob Willis is the massively underrated, forgotten player in that series, wasn't he? He took a heck load of wickets, but both of them was kind of a Freddie Flintoff, wasn't he? Ben Stokes of his generation, all rounders. They're just better than everybody else, all rounders, aren't they? Um, Question number 6. The 2020 sports personality saw Holly Doyle finish third. But can you name the 5 others? Okay, so knowing actually these might be in a particular order. No, we're not. Um, so a point 4, Lewis Hamilton, Stuart Broad, Tyson Fury, Jordan Henderson, and the one I struggled with, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Lewis Hamilton, Stuart Broad, Tyson Fury, Jordan Henderson, Ronnie O'Sullivan. There you 5, a point for each. As I say, speaking of Holly Doyle, she rode a 5-timer on one day last year at a Southern Racecourse. But which racecourse was it? Kempton, Windsor, Lingfield? It was Windsor. She rode it at B, Windsor. So hopefully you got that one. What colour is the centre of an archery target? Gold. It's a gold target. 10 points, I believe, isn't it? Number 9, Clive Cox has recently joined Middleham Park's training ranks. Obviously, a very good trainer, given that he won the Coventry Stakes this year, as well as many, many other group races with Nando Parada. But at what price did he win at? It was 150 to 1. I think it's a biggest price Royal Ascot winner. I stand to be corrected, but 150 to 1. And finally, question 10. 2 of the 3 Manning brothers are champions. In which sport? Now, the third brother also played this. I think he played it a little bit professionally, but wasn't quite as good as Eli and Peyton Manning, who are quarterbacks in the sport American football, which is currently on in the background now. It's playoff weekend. So, how did you get on in the sport round? I'm going to go and recharge my glass, and I'll be back in a moment. Let me know how you got on. Oh. Oh. Ooh, scores on the doors. The Dykes Clan with 10, 11s, 9 out of 15. Oh, a 3. It did seem quite a tricky round. 13 out of 15, top effort. Did everybody struggle? Did anybody get all 5 on the sports personalities? Did anybody get all 5? I felt that was particularly tricky. If anybody got all of them, well done. Right. Well, the fan favourite is back, Blockbuster. I think everybody's probably familiar. I'm not sure I need to um, go over the formalities once again. I think most of the faces, names, viewers are familiar with the concept of Blockbuster. So I'll just kick on with it straight away. Question number one. If you're not, it should become quite apparent, and you'll get there by reading the chat. Question one. Which S was Princess Diana's maiden name? Which S was Princess Diana's maiden name? A few royal questions. That's what you get with history round, though, isn't it? There's a lot of royalty. Question number two. Which A is a mythical race of female warriors? Which A is a mythical race of female warriors? Um, Question three. Which W is a fictitious, easy for you to say, fictitious area of Manchester where Coronation Street is set? Which W is a fictitious area of Manchester where Coronation Street is set? Sorry, I've just been texted something by one in the chat. I'll forward it onto the quiz group and allow them to sort that, if that's okay. Question four. Which D was the surname of the author of the BFG? Which D was the surname of the author of the BFG? And Lovelace just moaning and groaning over there. She's trying to get comfy. Question five. Which O, these are good ones, these questions. Which O goes after electric, barrel, and mouth? Which O goes after electric, barrel, and mouth? I like these questions. Real get you thinking. Now, I would recommend that wild turkey if anybody's into that sort of stuff. It's nice. Dangerous. Was it 19 Crimes that I said the same thing about? Dangerous red wine. That's beautiful stuff. Question six. Which C had hits with Just Like Jesse James and Turn Back Time? Both big, big tunes. Do you know what? I probably prefer the former to the latter. Which C has had hits with Just Like Jesse James and Turn Back Time? I actually got it. You can get it in all good stores, but I got it off Amazon. I've got Amazon Prime, so you order it one night and it's there the next day. If you have too much of it, you don't know when it's coming, but he just rocks up at front door next day, and you're like, right, I guess I did that. No, I don't think I'll sing tonight, Joy. As much as that was a fun week where I was a little bit too drunk. I think that was the one where we were in the garden. I was in the garden from silly o'clock drinking away. Seven. Oh, this is a good one as well, if I do say so myself. Which tea are you sometimes offered a penny for when you're staring off into space? Which tea are you sometimes offered a penny for when you're staring off into space? Which tea are you sometimes offered a penny for when you're staring off into space? Yeah, Jim Beam's all right. I'm just trying to try a lot of stuff because I'm just getting into it again. Really trying to try Woodford Reserve. That's a nice bourbon. The Maker's Mark that I had wasn't particularly great. Buffalo Trace. That's nice. I'm finding a wild turkey to do the job. Number 8. Another one of the little questions. Which O goes after customs, probation, and police? Which O goes after customs, probation, and police? Thankfully, none of the three that I've had any issues with, barring the speeding, of course. Which O goes after customs, probation, and police? Number 9. Which R is the main ingredient in risotto? Which R is the main ingredient in risotto? Let's have a little bit more. That'll get us through the picture round. I do have some room upstairs as well, because apparently I became a pirate around Christmas. And finally, question 10. Which S is staged, but you can also run it, steal it, or stop it? Which S is staged, but you can also run it, steal it, or stop it? It becomes very obvious when you know the answer, but you might just be sat at home going, what's he on about? Which is very fair, but it does make perfect sense-ish. Which S is staged, but you can also run it, steal it, or stop it? It sounds like that game you used to play when you were a kid. Beat it, bop it, flick it, twist it, pull it. Used to drive mum and dad insane. I mean, I only used to play that in the car. What was it? Bop it, wasn't it? It was called Bop It. So that's your blockbuster. I've just realised blockbuster. The dog's probably going mental in the other room. Just, anyway, right. Your answers are: question 1: which S is Princess Diana's maiden name? Spencer. Number 2: which A is a mythical race of female warriors? Amazons. Number 3: which W is a fictitious area of Manchester where Coronation Street is set? Weatherfield. Number 4: which D is the surname of the author of BFG? Dahl, Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl. Number 5: which O goes after electric, barrel, and mouth? Organ. Electric organ, barrel organ, mouth organ. Buster. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, mate. Number 6. Which C has had hits with Just Like Jesse James and Turn Back Time? That's, of course, the mighty Cher. I was going to say Believe. I was going to give that, but that's just a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? So it's Turn Back Time, I guess, Tom. All big tunes. All big tunes. Number 7. Which T are you sometimes offered a penny for when you're staring off into space? The dog's here. That's not the answer, by the way. It's thoughts. Penny for your thoughts. Which T are you sometimes offered a penny for when you're staring off into space? Penny for your thoughts. Which O, number 8, goes after customs, probation, and police? Officer. Customs officer, probation officer, police officer. Number 9. Which R is a main ingredient in risotto? That's, of course, rice. And question 10, which S is staged, but you can also run it, steal it, or stop it? That's show. Run the show, steal the show, stop the show. So that's out of 10. And I, I'll be honest, I didn't mean to intentionally when I started coming up with something. But if anybody's picked up on what I've done in that round, I won't give you an extra point, but just well done. If you have picked up on it, pop it in the chat. What I've done there, I didn't mean to, and if anybody has, I'll explain my methodology behind it. But let me know how you got on that round. We do like Blockbuster, we do. Loads of tens, and Mark Austin, of course, has clocked it. Saw doctors. There was no intention to do anything this week, but I spotted that the first three were Saw, and then I just went, do you know what? I can make Saw doctors work. So Saw doctors was something I managed to get into a Blockbuster for everybody. Lots of tens, lots of nines. Good round for everybody. We all like Blockbuster. It's the old favourite. That's why it keeps coming back every week. We love it. Now, we're on to a picture round, which I felt was a bit of a different one. I must admit, the one Tom first sent through was an absolute stinker. It was really, really tricky. But this was tricky, but in a good way. I liked this way. So we might, if you liked it, let me know. Do drop us a text or a tweet saying that you liked this round, because I think this is probably a good way to go for the next couple of weeks anyway. But it got you thinking. So the answers for your picture round: number 1, Crossroads. Number 2, Ready for Anything. Ready for Anything. Number 3, Jack in a Box. Number 4, Cut Above the Rest. We'll probably take Cut Above, yeah. 5, Shadow of Doubt. Number 6, Safety in Numbers. 7, Half-Hearted, not the racehorse named something similarly to that. Number 8, Man Overboard. Number 9, Reading Between the Lines. And your final answer of the evening, 6 Feet Underground. Or 6 Feet Under. So that was obviously out of 10. Be very intrigued to know how people got on there. How'd you go? Ooh, it's not the answer that we were given. I mean, I'll have to consult with Tom Denham if uppercut is acceptable. I can kind of see how it could be. I'll consult with Tom. I'll await official vindication if uppercut is or not. But how many did you get out of total in total? Out of 56, I believe it was this week. $54 for the Austins, so we did our job. Got you guys off top score. 43 from the exotic team. Well done. 43s. So it's out of 56. Do you know what? I think 38 is going to be a good score. I think 38. It was a tricky quiz. It's probably one that's, if you'd got into my psyche, got into my mindset, has chucked you a bit of a curveball. There's a lot of history in there. So I think 36 and above, you've done very, very well. You know what? We'll come back to uppercut So anyway, thank you very much for joining in. It looks like we're going to be in lockdown for a couple more weeks at least anyway. So I'll probably do another one next week. If you guys are in support of it, let us know. As ever, we'll expect some scores posted on social media channels, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. If you can let us know how you got on, that would be great. And if you're wanting us to do another couple of quizzes or another quiz next week or whatever, do let us know. And hopefully we can keep going, and hopefully we'll be out of this lockdown soon. With regards to tomorrow, we do have a few runners. We've got Cooper River 110 at Chelmsford, Lexington Rebel, who looks to have a very good chance over in France in the 2:20. That's English time, not French time. And Sweet Celebration at Kempton in the 4:15. So there are our runners tomorrow. We look forward to hopefully seeing each other next week. Stay safe. Enjoy the NFL, which I'm going to go and watch now, or the football, or Dancing on Ice. And thank you very much for your company. Let us know how you got on in the social media, and see you all next week. Hopefully, if you want us to go again. Cheers. Bye.